Hi, I'm Ken Hamlin, and this is Hammer Talk. Let's start off with the NBA Finals. Wow. What can you say about LeBron James? After losing the lead in the fourth quarter, which he had something to do with, he had a triple-double which led the Cleveland Cavaliers to a 95-93 victory. This is the first time in NBA history the first two games in the finals go into overtime. We'll see what happens in this nail-biting series. So, Eleni, I know we have something that we both are passionate about with this basketball series going on in the finals. LeBron James, of course, everybody's saying he's been masterful in these playoffs, but you have something that you want to discuss that I think is very strong. The fouls or the lack of them that are being called in this series.
It's true. LeBron James looks like he's getting away with murder these days. So it's pretty sad. He can do no wrong, I guess.
Well, and that's what I saw in the series, especially game 1 and 2. It just seemed like whatever he did, it didn't matter. He wasn't getting the call against him, or a lot of people are saying he's not getting any calls either. But I think that it's going more the other way. Your thoughts are the same?
Well, I think that the refs are kind of blind to his magical powers and things like that. And so maybe if they open their eyes a little bit, the other guys would have a chance.
Let's move on to horse racing. American Pharoah went all the way to sweep the Triple Crown. He's the only horse in 37 years to win the titles in the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes. The last horse to accomplish this feat was Affirmed in 1978. Jockey Victor Espinoza and trainer Bobby Baffert were thrilled to finally get the crown. Okay, Kevin, with the American Pharoah winning the Triple Crown, my first question, if you do have a horse that would race, what would the name be?
I would name it Clutch City.
Clutch City. You know what, I think you can't use that Clutch City for everything. It's
but
getting out of
if you're
here.
from Houston, you have to, and not a lot of people outside of Houston really talk about it that way. If I had a horse from Houston, Clutch City.
Watching the race and then seeing him, this horse basically leading the entire time.
Right.
Did you think that there was going to be a chance that this horse might have given up at the end?
No, not a chance. I knew right away he was going to take it. As soon as he got off that start, he was at least 2 lengths coming into that last stretch. No one else was catching up.
Now, you're a betting man. Did you bet on this happening? Or, it's been, 37 years since it happened?
It's been a while since there was been a Triple Crown. If there was anybody who was going to do it as American Pharoah, I might have been a part of something like that.
Exciting news coming out of Roland Garros in Paris. Wawrinka beat top-ranked Djokovic in 4 sets at the French Open. Wawrinka sealed the win on his second match point with the winner backhand shot down the line. Serena Williams won her 3rd French Open title, which has catapulted her into her 20th Grand Slam win. Serena Williams winning her 20th Grand Slam. She's 3rd on the list. Why do you think she's not getting the recognition and just the praise that you think a player of her caliber should be getting?
Right. I look at that, and like I said, she's behind Margaret Court, number 1 at 24. Steffi Graf at 22 is number 2. She's probably would be considered the all-time greatest, but in this day and age, it appears that for some reason, I don't know if it's the Williams system, how they came up to the scene, or how Serena carries herself. She gets termed as being too aggressive or too confident, which you would think in a society that works well.
You would want.
Yeah, you would want in a true champion. Yeah. She conducts herself in a professional manner on and off the court. She had a little fun doing a little crip walk at one of her events. But that's part of her personality.
Yeah.
So when you look at her, how she should be celebrated as, to me, a strong woman who gets in there and she has a grace about her, but she is a true champion. But she should be celebrated as one of the all-time greats, but yet she's gotten some racist comments recently sent to her, and I think people look at tennis and golf as just 2 of those sports where I think a cultural divide kind of still happens in that space.
The Houston Astros promoted shortstop Carlos Correa from the AAA out of Fresno, California. He's been named the top prospect in Major League Baseball by ESPN.com. When he takes the field officially, he'll be one of the youngest players in the league. The Astros are hoping Correa is the shot in the arm they need to take them to the playoffs. What do you think? Strange news out of Boston area. Massachusetts State Police are investigating an abandoned 2011 Mercedes Maybach. Now, I wouldn't abandon it, but it's registered to New England Patriots linebacker Brandon Spikes. The investigation is centered on a reported collision with a deer. During the same time, troopers responded to a hit and run in the same area as the abandoned Maybach. The investigation is ongoing into who was driving the Mercedes and what struck the other vehicle.
Well, if there were other passengers that were involved in the accident, I mean, I don't know the full details, but if there are other passengers that were involved, I think that it needed to be investigated.
Oh yeah, well they investigating it.
And being released from the team by him leaving a situation like that, I think that they may have done the right thing. Yeah, I mean, you don't just leave and abandon a situation like that.
And let's not forget about college football. This fan felt like colleges, big colleges, get an advantage over smaller ones.
In terms of placing players into the NFL, now, over the past 5 to 10 years, SEC has been outperforming every conference. However, last year, the SEC was actually lagging a little bit behind in the draft. The ACC and the Pac-12 both actually placed more players than the SEC and the Big 12 combined. So I think in that sense, just recently, the SEC may have lagged behind just this last year, but historically speaking, yes. But I also think that because the SEC, they recruit. The thing that cannot be refuted is the SEC recruits the best players, the best high school players.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't refute that fact. No matter what recruiting service you're looking at, whether that's ESPN, Rivals, Scout, all of them, the SEC recruits better talent than any college football conference or college athletics conference. But the thing is, because the SEC recruits so well, their strength of schedule automatically allows them to stay at the top. For instance, I'm an SEC team, okay? And because I'm playing other SEC teams, if I take a loss to one of those teams in terms of the college rankings, I won't go down as far as, say, if I lost to, Baylor or your TCU. Yeah. And then a lot of the times, for instance, at the beginning of the year, I remember Georgia and some of the schools in the SEC, when they were playing Florida. In Florida at the beginning, no one thought that they were going to be as bad as they were last year, where Florida ended up, not many people projected them to be that bad because they have so much talent. Exactly. But they ended up being bad. So at the beginning of the year, when Florida didn't have as bad of a record and they're playing these other teams, they didn't drop down that far in the ranking because they lost to Florida.
Thanks for watching. And until next time, I'm Ken Hamlin, and you've just been nailed.